Welcome to the show. Oh yeah. Welcome to the show. Yeah. Okay. Everybody, it's time for the show. 2 count, we about that go. Best in the Midwest, and we up next. Go and ring the bell, rest, cause here we go. Comedy meets wrestling. Yeah, we doing our own thing. Squared circle and a microphone. 2 count on everything. Can you smell what we're cooking now? Other shows, they ain't got that style profile. And while we strut, arm raised with 2 fingers up. JR, Big Ace, Tommy 2, they something else. This show be dynamite. Next level, top shelf. I'm like, welcome to the show. Welcome to the show.
Yes, and happy Tuesday, everybody. We're happy you're along with us. Sorry, we started a little late. We were talking about our big trip down to Southern Illinois and Coughlin's Hideout, where we'll be doing a comedy show this Saturday in the backyard of our old pal Whitney, who will be along with us after Pilates and tanning, I guess. One of them things. We got a fantastic show for you this evening with fantastic guests. I think most of you that have followed along with us and watched us will recognize this guest. He is the Madhouse Wrestling Heavyweight Champion, Darrin Corbin. We'll be excited to have him come on with us. There's a lot to talk about with him. I have questions about how he and Tim Nella kind of figured out their sold out group. I mean, that's interesting to me, and it seems to be working out very well for them. Let's see. Boy, oh boy, did Brock Lesnar get a little bit of a dump on his melon last night. That was exciting to see. I'm excited to see him. Looks like he's going to be in a spot to maybe put somebody over. I hope so. When WrestleMania comes along, but I think they're going to try to sort of drag him out into SummerSlam. We'll talk about that a little bit as well. There was something I just saw here not very long ago. In fact, today, that WWE has contracted with, and I can't remember the name of it. I didn't write it down because that's how stupid I am. They contracted with somebody called, I believe, Front Row Sports or something like that.
Yeah, I think you're right.
To assist with writing storylines for PLEs. This is interesting to me for a couple of reasons. One, do they not know what they're doing?
Front Office Sports, by the way.
Front Office Sports. I don't understand why they're hiring an outside company to do this for them. So we'll talk a little bit about that too. It's kind of crazy, everything that's going on. We had a lot of snow over the weekend. You guys went down. Did you both go down to that show?
Yes, sir. Algona. We were there for the Badger Brawl. This bullshit.
Wait a minute. But how was the weather coming back? That's what I was concerned about.
Well, Ace avoided it, thankfully for him.
By 5 minutes, I missed it.
Yeah, I ran into it just north of Owatonna, also known as that little town of Medford, with the outlet mall. That's when I started seeing snow in the shoulder area. Then, quickly before I even really got out of Medford, it was already on the freeway. For some odd reason, Clint died.
Hey, Clint.
He was there on Saturday, along with Emmett and the birthday girl, Lorelai.
Oh, Tommy froze. Well, that's no good.
Yeah.
But and now everybody froze. Maybe it was me that froze.
Yeah, well, for whatever reason, Google was trying to tell me to get off at 35 to go 19. I'm pretty sure it's going to send me all the way over 52, which I'm like, I'm not going to do that. I'm just going to stay 35, keep heading north. And yeah, it took me a little time, but I still made it home like roughly about 1:30ish or so. But
Wow.
it could have been worse. Our buddy Damien Saint hit a deer on his way home, so could have
No
been a lot
kidding.
fucking worse. Yeah, could have been a lot fucking worse.
God dang.
Hotels booked and everything, boys. It's a go. We're official. Coming this weekend, we're going to go down to Bull Pit, Illinois. It's great because I get to do a warm up show in Eagan on Friday, so
That'll be fun.
yeah, it's gonna be super duper. Like I'm not working the bar. Get to just go do some comedy on a Friday.
What time's the show?
8:00. 8:00. I'm like 90% sure on this one.
I'd go if I didn't have to pay.
I'm pretty sure you gotta pay.
Well, and fuck them.
Hey, man.
Courtesy.
You not know who he is?
I don't get an accommodation. This is
man.
outrageous.
I
Is this a Jer Dog?
It is a Pub and Grub Comedy Tours show with Mike Marvell as the headliner.
That's the reason I want to go. I want to watch you, and I want to say hello to Mike. But if I'm
Yeah,
not, I'm not going to. So you'll just have to say hello for me.
Jesus Christ! Sorry, noise.
14 inches of snow. 14 inches of snow for Dan over in the eastern Wisconsin area.
Yesterday, huh? Not Sunday, dickhead. You know how it goes, Dan. That's what happens when you live in Wisconsin. That was the thing too. All that wind was coming in from the northeast, so like it slowed it way the fuck down. That storm coming through and stuff. Normally this stuff only ends up being for 6 to 8 hours roughly through an area, and that one ended up being closer to 20, 24. Excuse me, depending on what area of the world you were in. So
yeah,
I'm sure Wisconsin, UP, I heard got dumped on. Could have been worse. Stacy's mom's north of Green Bay got 30.
Stacy's mom has got to go now.
Stacy's parents north, yeah.
We had 18 here.
Yeah, it was
but it
crazy.
doesn't look like there's 18 because the wind blew it all over the place.
Yeah, I got a hill outside my door, patio door, that there was no snow basically on that at all. So just all kind of going. But I'll tell you this, the most treacherous part of the drive home was when it started mounting up and kind of rutting on the road, some of the snow.
Oh, yeah.
That was pretty fucking gnarly. But, I always think to myself, there's no way I can stop, though, because if I stop, I may not get going again. They closed 35 south in Iowa, so they basically told, Minnesota obliged and ran everybody east and west on 90. So I'm sure Highway US 169 got used quite a bit on Sunday if anybody was trying to use it. So,
oh, yeah.
All that sort of good shit. Man, the upper Midwest sucks. Why do we live here, boys? Why do we live here? JR, I know you got kids that live up here, and grandkids, so that makes sense.
Yeah.
I got you guys. I could give or take it. I don't really
later. Later, that's what that sounds like.
Yeah. Don't let the door hit you in the ass on the way out, Tom.
Hey, you know what?
So I have a question for you. When you're driving your car
mm-hmm.
and you're in snow like this, and you get home, so your parking is underneath the building, right?
Correct.
So do you have to get everything off the car before you go down in there, or you just go in all snowed up?
Go all snowed up, man. I'll let it all just melt. So there's drains there. There's floor drains and stuff. So Big Ace reposting the stream. Thank you, Big Ace.
Hey, Big Ace, you're always doing it for us. Thanks, buddy.
It's weird. It's almost like I'm the social media guy.
I stopped doing it because it stopped giving me recognition. So I was like, you know what? Fuck this. If I'm not getting notoriety, no way.
JR put you on the block list for that or something on here?
Probably.
No, I didn't.
Yeah, he's like, don't mention Tom at all.
No, that's not true. Loopy Scooby.
That looks like it's our good pal Lupe.
What up, brother?
One of the first wrestling. Lupe, are you part of the family? Are you part of the first wrestling family? Or are you just a first wrestling regular, if you will?
I don't know, but we hung out with Lupe in Rochester at the last Madhouse show. It was good times. Oh yeah,
Founding member.
Which, by the way, that kind of sucks that we had to cancel that 28th. I think the next like big Madhouse show then is going to be May 30th in Rochester. So,
oh, what a disaster! I hate bureaucracy, man.
yeah, I don't. There's a lot of. We're not going to really talk about it, but
yeah.
We'll move on. We'll find something. It'll be fine. It'll all work out.
Birthday weekend for Lupe.
Oh snap! It's like a few days after mine too, dude. It's gonna be a good night,
dude.
I promise you.
It's literally the weekend after Memorial Day weekend, so I'm on a long weekend, the weekend before Memorial Day. Then,
dude, we are
like the shortest of fucking weeks. Nice, there we go. Shortest of
weeks. Me too.
Before we go to Lake of the Ozarks,
birthday, bro.
Very long fucking weekend, short week of work, and then into Madhouse weekend. So,
shit.
Fuck.
You getting a shout out from the ring that night for sure, brother. Birthday bros.
That's right. Yeah, look at you.
That's dope.
Look at y'all.
Dude, that's gonna be a great week. That's gonna be a great, dude. Yeah, we're gonna come back from that golf trip. I can go to work for a few days and then fucking Madhouse weekend. So that's gonna be good times.
You can't really go wrong, man. I tell everybody, if you got your options, man, like obviously Memorial Day weekend's already a Monday off. Man, I don't know about you guys, but I've had this debate with people. People swear that you should take Fridays off. I'm like, no. Because all you're doing then is you're going to go short week and burn a Friday where you probably don't have to do shit anyways. Then you go into a long weekend and you come back for a long week. No. Do it like this. Long weekend, take Monday off. Short week, then you're right back in the weekend. It's gorgeous, man.
I do like a Monday over a Friday off. I very much do like that.
Yeah. And then you take a Monday off, you can go do some errands if you need to, play a round of golf or whatever, fuck around.
Like, also for me, it's that anxiety on Sunday of like, I have to go back tomorrow.
Oh, you mean the Sunday scares? Sunday scares?
And then it's just like that all week till about Thursday. And then you're like, okay, we're almost there.
I need you both to start loving your jobs.
I don't hate my job. I just have hard days at my job because of what I have to do and my clientele. That's all. And today was a hard day. It was a very fucking hard day.
You had to tell a lot of people that you're losing your house because you celebrate too hard on St. Patrick's Day weekend.
No.
No, I'm kidding. I'm sorry. That's too much. We don't talk about that kind of stuff.
By the way, as it is St. Patrick's Day.
Yay.
I see that we are all wearing green.
Let's go. So I don't want to get because obviously when Darrin hops on here when he gets here soon, which by the way, everybody, he is coming. He said it too that he'd be on here shortly after 7. So, and then Whitney will get here. When Whitney gets here, she's a busy bee too. But it kind of is funny that this show lined up on St. Patrick's Day and now it's 3 gingers and you two. We should all just have like a fucking like leprechaun hat on, Tom.
Oh,
you got one for Darrin.
Oh, yeah.
That would have been sweet.
I'm curious too because like I don't. So for you, Tom, I don't know because you are a taller gentleman. I'm not. I'm short. So like I always got the whole dude, you should fucking like at the bar when I worked there. It was an Irish saloon, so every year you get to dress up like a leprechaun for us, right? Like fuck no.
Forklift driver, hell yeah, dude. And sometimes that's not so easy, but here's what I get, and I'll be working the bar literally after this. Oh, Vicious Victor Payne, he's one of the most hated men in Algona tonight.
You know what? He can start if he wants to. He can start coming up to the ring going, "It's me, it's VVP."
All right, you know what? We're gonna mute you for a second.
It works though.
It does work. Yeah, no, I get the giant leprechauns because Dublin in Duluth, the first time I did that show was St. Patrick's Day weekend. I think St. Patrick's Day was a Sunday, which they're normally closed on Sunday. So everybody was out Saturday, Irish pub. And they used to do 2 shows, and they still do, depending on the time of the year. But I'll tell you this.
Hell
with
yeah.
The heat on in that. Yeah, no kidding. Mm-hmm. I was turning like down the lights and then like raising up the fucking projector screen for the show. They used to do so much extra shit there. I was like, just so dumb. So I'm doing this and I'm wearing, it's St. Patrick's Day weekend. So I'm wearing some green. Dude goes, oh, it's a giant leprechaun. I go, I will fuck you up right now, sir. I don't give a fuck about my pay. It's literally it's a measly amount of money for fucking hosting here. Like, I will kill you.
Faith and Bigara, you ever been shit upon by a giant leprechaun?
I'll beat wholesale ass, man.
Wholesale?
Wholesale ass. Just saying.
Oh, for God's sakes.
We also found out on Saturday that Vicious Victor Payne has a lot of wholesale ass to beat too come the 28th now. Fucking people were ganging up on him. Badger, Shank, Prentice, even the Golden God, Bryce Jordan jumped in on this stuff, man. It was like, it was ridiculous. Two of those guys are cleared to not be anywhere close to a ring right now. So, and then the other one is Bryce Jordan. No, I'm just kidding. Just kidding. Jason Prentice should never be anywhere close to a ring, period. But, you know, that's what do I know, guys? What do I know?
It was a good time, though.
He's got a list. You fucking right. You got a list.
In case we didn't say that, Saturday night was a great time. Algona filled the VFW.
Nice.
It was fun. It was good to be back. That was the other thing. Tom and I were talking about that. And it's like, I think everybody in that room, because I think a lot of us have had that break of at least a month or two that were involved. So again, it was kind of like,
this is Shank, by the way, too. Iowa Knife.
Ooh.
So it's one of those things too, where it's like, you know, towards the end of the year when you know there's a little bit of that winter break coming, you're like, I'm ready. It's like it's been go every weekend for months. And then when we came back, it was like, fuck. I told Tom on the ride down, I'm like, dude, I'm ready. I'm actually pretty hyped for tonight because like it's been a minute. I'm ready to get back to shows. So it was, dude, and it was fun. I think everybody was ready. Everybody was pumped. Everybody did great. The crowd was ready. They were hot, and it's a good time, man.
Well, you know, and I mentioned after the show too, like the rookies that were there for the Badger Brawl, or even just, you know, working, like TTKO, Elijah Brooks, Odin, and then
Jason Wolf,
and
Brian Gale made his first Brian.
Yeah, so I mean, all very respectful, super good dudes. Did a lot of great stuff with the Badger Brawl, and you know, the matches they were into. I mean, honestly, Brooks was able to pick up the victory over Justin Deason. Didn't see that coming.
Now, if you missed it and you're like, damn, I wanted to see a big brawl. Well, guess what? If you go to Waterloo on March 28th, the Winter Brawl Classic, another 30-man battle royale that's going to happen in Waterloo. And this one's huge. Winner walks out champion.
Ooh la la.
Yeah. The vacated APW championship will be up on the line on that one. And yeah, Shank, we missed you too, man. Like, honestly, it's been a long time. It's good to have you back here in the comments. But, you know, hey, man, the way that came down on Saturday, dude, man, you all took it to Vicious Victor Payne, man. That's not cool, man. They were just words. They were just words he said about Badger. So, just saying, man.
Shank, I ain't got nothing to do with this. Tom is not speaking for me and JR. Just gonna throw that one out there.
I speak only for myself, but you know, Shank knows he's always.
I was worried. Badger got worked up. I didn't want him to get too worked up. I was worried, but it was a good time. It was a great time. This is gonna be a really good time.
Oh,
look at
that! This Saturday night, boys, we're gonna be down in Whitney's neck of the woods. And honestly, guys, we have no fucking idea what the hell we're driving down into.
Mm-mm.
We have no
clue.
We're told it'll hold 200 plus. I've never seen the place.
An adventure is about to happen this weekend.
I know they have bands there.
This is a possibility of me getting stabbed.
We're gonna document, guys. We're gonna document. Follow us on the socials: Instagram, Twitter, Facebook. I would say probably Instagram is where you're gonna see the most of anything. We're gonna try to vlog it. We're gonna try to vlog it. I know we've said this before, but like we're gonna try to make a little vlog out of this because again, we have no idea what the fuck we're walking into down in where is this at? Bullpit, Iowa or Illinois?
See, we're so used to saying Iowa.
We're gonna be halfway between. Well, we're 15 miles from Springfield, not too far from Decatur, and not terrible far. We're probably 90 minutes or so from St. Louis.
St. Louis. Yeah, we're not going that far down.
Well, of course not. That'd be ridiculous. But I should have my new secret camera glasses. By the
Oh,
time
are you
we
getting
go
some
on
of
this
those?
trip.
You getting some of those?
Well, because I'm trying to figure out a way. So, like, if I decide I want to make videos,
Well,
of
it's
me,
half the videos are going to be like this.
yeah, I'm gonna be
Sleep on the couch.
He's asleep again,
Or
he's drunk in a car. No, the idea is so there's certain things that I get hooked on YouTube. You know, one of the things I get hooked on.
You said YouTube. Sorry, I thought you said the internet.
Is the guys that go fishing. And they've got the whole rigmarole with the GoPro on the hat and the chest and all the side shit. And I'm like, well, that seems like a lot of work. And then the other one is, I haven't watched them. I'll watch them, is the guys that go into the casinos and play. And they record themselves playing out the casino.
Dude, what's so funny is the fact that you just brought that up, and that had to have been one of the very first conversations that ever took place on probably a 2 count or at that time mass.
Yeah.
Because when we started the show, we were talking about YouTube holes that we both fell into during lockdown.
Yeah.
And you're like, fucking casino. And I was like, yeah. Yeah, actually, yeah. Sometimes I end up watching just people playing slot machines.
Like, watch them playing a fucking slot machine. Now, I've become very spoiled, so now I'll fast forward till I get to where they get a jackpot or some shit or a bonus. But it's like these fucking guys, like when I first started watching them, they're like, 10 minutes. Now they're doing 30. The same people I was 30 minutes worth of I don't want to watch you playing a slot machine for 30 minutes.
Yeah. That's so funny. I'm the same way. There's certain things I'll watch on YouTube that I'm like, yeah, I could skip like 2 minutes of this shit.
Yeah.
Like this part. Like, I don't need to. I know what they're going to do and say. I've watched enough of their shit.
It's just, yeah. So, but anyway, I'll have that. And that'll be, I don't know how it works yet. It's supposed to come on Thursday.
There's a dude out of Duluth that fucking camps in his truck. And now he has like a whole fleet of like campers and trucks and his own cabin. And he'll go like ice fishing. He'll go all over the fucking world, actually. But he's like, out to do is Mav. And like, dude, you guys know me. I'm not even a fucking outdoorsy guy, but I'll watch this fucking video of this dude fucking camping overnight in the back of his truck, cooking food back there and going like ice fishing. And I'm just like, yeah, that looks awesome. I would never do it, but that looks awesome.
Yeah.
I don't know if it's the end of his career, but it probably should be at this point. If you take a spear from a internet sensation,
like it sucks because I didn't even realize there was a pay-per-view on.
I forgot it was on too.
And the only things I saw from it was it was the shit with that like the fucking kid flirting with the girl. Like what are we doing?
The Rizzler getting
Shane Taylor. I didn't see that. The thing that I saw was Edge and Christian coming back.
Yeah, I saw
together.
That. Yeah,
I thought that was okay.
That's cool.
I'm kind of excited for that a little bit.
You mean Cage and Copeland, since it was always Edge and Christian, right? So now it's Cage and Copeland, Cage and Cope. Let's get this straight, boys. It's time for Cage to take the lead.
Never
40 some odd years later. No, I'm just kidding.
No, he did. He took the lead in their planking business.
That's true. Power plank. It's literally for your cores, guys. Like it's really good workout for your core and your chest and your shoulders, man. Like power plank.
Dude, all these fucking guys.
Us.
All these fucking guys have like programs. It's so funny, dude.
Dude, we all got extra shit that we got to do, man, to get by nowadays, man.
I just seen Austin post today. He's all like, dude, the DDP yoga. Oh, yeah. Like, okay, great, dude.
Austin's on it now, too. I mean, he took the fucking stunner away from DDP, too. I mean, Jesus Christ, now you're on his program. Come on.
I can't remember why. He said why he was doing it. Like, he's like really deep in the racing and shit, too, though. You know what I mean?
Yeah. Mm-hmm. Well, that's the thing. He fucked up his back for so long too, doing those stunners the way he was doing them. Like either on his knees or to his ass and shit like that. Like, so DDP's Diamond Cutter was always more like the RKO is now, where it's.
I'm interested. Let's do this because it is St. Patrick's Day, so cool. But yesterday was Steve Austin Day.
Yeah,
16.
What?
So like, what's your guys' favorite Austin moment? Stone Cold.
Jeez, that's a good question, man.
There's so many fucking good ones, you know?
For me, here's the deal. Like, believe me, like when fucking Austin 316 became a thing and that whole fucking getting just ride up the fucking mountain was amazing. But I think I was the most entertained when he was like fucking heel Austin and wanted nothing but Vince's approval. And then they had like third wheel Kurt Angle.
The funniest Kurt Angle has almost ever been.
That is just some of the most entertaining. And I get it. Like, so, and don't get me wrong, like, matches are like crazy. Like, yeah, that was a great fucking match too. Him and
that's a
Brock.
great moment too.
Yeah, the hospital, yeah. But
Dude.
my personal favorite is the supermarket slam with
Booker T.
yeah.
I'm
so
playing,
fucking funny.
I'm playing bingo. Like the only time you see Vince like break and actually laugh on TV.
I think the Coors Light truck where he just starts spraying beer all over the corporation.
Yeah.
Probably,
yeah.
Right on up there, you know.
Well, you know what else I liked is when he went to headquarters and he was like, when he became the president, and like he goes and looks at payroll and he's like cutting Shane McMahon's pay in half, and then he's like, "Oh, Mick Foley, man, yeah, triple his salary. That some bitch deserves." You know what I mean? Like, hey,
look at this guy.
Made it.
There he is. Get him on
Wearing
top.
green
Yeah,
too.
buddy.
There we go.
All
This is
right.
like, dude, people are spoiled. They get 3 gingers on St. Patrick's Day.
Yeah, normally you only get one in one area, but on St. Patrick's Day, we got to make it special. So,
I mean, the last time I was around 2 other gingers, I mean, this is obviously over the internet, so it's a little bit different, but I was at a birthday party. We always start singing happy birthday. Literally, the whole town's fucking power goes out. So I'm just saying there is some magic that happens. And then as soon as I left, I was like, you know what? This is not happening. I'm just going to leave. As soon as I left the parking lot, all of a sudden the power comes on everywhere I go. Oh, us gingers, we may not be witches, but we have some power. We have some magic.
it's hard to kind of like put that aura together, but it does impact the world around it. That's for sure.
100%, dude. Absolutely. Clint Dye says it's true. The champ has arrived.
There he is, y'all.
Dude, what a bummer, huh? Oh, that's such a beautiful belt.
It is such
Beautiful.
Second generation Madhouse championship right there. Who invited that guy?
Oh, shut up.
Absolutely. Yeah.
Yeah,
Right
boo
up.
yourself. Boo yourself.
So let me ask you. I'm going to ask you a question because I haven't heard an answer, and you probably have a good one. So, what precipitated you and Tim Nella and Heavy Metal Lore forming this sold out group? How did that happen?
I mean, well, proximity was a big part of it.
Yeah.
Mutual success was a big part of it because if I was to look at who I thought was going to be the future, right, of Madhouse, I got to go with Tim. I mean, like, look how fast he's picked up as a natural athlete, right? Mm-hmm. Now, the thing is no matter what, whether Rochester wants to admit it or not, he's got just a natural charisma about him. And I took notice of this right away. Like, I knew he was going to be successful. I'm not going to take credit for, his championship win. He was going to do that on his own. However, I started thinking to myself, I was like, whenever you see success and you want it to grow, what you're going to do is you're going to bond it with other success. And because he's so new, here's the best thing. I actually just read something about that. This is something that is done in other countries as a way to help businesses succeed. They will have people that have been advanced, and rather than letting them just like go retire or fall by the wayside, they give them spots to help because they have the experience to know of the problems, the pitfalls, the pratfalls along the way, right?
Yep.
Now, I am nowhere near retiring yet. Not even close. I'm having too much fun doing this. And I thought maybe I could be a good, like, I guess, liaison, like kind of that person who helps. When you have somebody who is that new but that good, all they need is just a little help maneuvering through the pitfalls, right? And that's what I could provide. And I knew it didn't take much coaxing on this, but it's that crab bucket mentality. And you can only get as successful or as, you can only go so far depending on who's around you. That's the city of Rochester, unfortunately. Like, I know that Tim could love the city and he could be the main, he could be like their star. They could build statues to him, all that stuff, right? He could be like the poster boy for Rochester. But that's only going to get you so far. I'm trying to get him more out there and be bigger than he could be. And that's what we're doing. So if we take over here, and as you continue to see Madhouse grow, we're going to be at the forefront of that. And it's not just Rochester. And of course, we were just talking about the unfortunate happenings of, like the 28th. And look, it will be it's a little hiccup, right?
Mhm.
Nothing will stop us from doing what we need to do. And then you throw lore in. I mean, I've known Lore for a long, long time. I know what he's capable of, and he's my insurance policy. Let's face it, he is my insurance policy, and that's why I still have this. That's why this is still here. So the three of us together, that is every strength that you would want out of any performer that you have at any show, any event, and now you have them all in one spot. And that's what we did. And we knew people were going to accuse us of, taking the easy way out or whatever. So we're playing right into it.
Cheaters.
I don't listen to Loopy at all.
Fair enough.
Yeah, I mean, if I did listen to him, that would be the equivalent of what would happen if Tim stayed in Rochester. That's the whole deal. Like, we don't listen to people who are subpar. That's how that goes.
That's a great term too, subpar.
Mm-hmm.
We love having Lupe here as a viewer and stuff, but the reality is, sometimes people are just subpar. It's like me having to carry the show every week. I try my best with subpar talent, but I can only do so much.
When you're given the parameters that you work with, that's how we do it. That's how we look at it. So that's what we do.
This is why I enjoy you so much, Darrin. You speak truths, and when people just have a hard time accepting it, that's on them. It's not on us.
It's experience. That's the experience that I've picked up along the way, and that's what I'm trying to pass down to others.
What's crazy is like literally like 2 weeks ago, our mayor just announced that she's not going to run, and there were some people who were. So Tim now is going to run.
What? Wait, what?
Yeah.
So I haven't talked to him in a few weeks, but I guarantee you there are certain people in this town gassing him up, being like, "You should run for mayor."
Oh,
dude, it was
for mayor? Oh,
yeah,
dude,
it was.
Written in.
The thing is, like 10 years ago, we joked with him about it, like because just everyone knew him here.
Yeah,
everyone knows him here. So it was like, dude, someday you're going to be the mayor, and now it's like,
it could happen.
Tim, you could maybe run.
I mean, does that make Rochester better though? As if Tim Nella is the mayor as well?
Could you imagine? Well, because then Darrin
leaves for the cities. Fuck yeah.
By way, Darrin becomes mayor of Rochester too. Then
I mean, I can definitely like fit in any of the every year. Fun fact: every year when it comes to voting, I always write myself in for at least one of the 6th county judges district or the water and sanitation advisor. I always write myself in. It's more so because they always run unopposed, and I don't know who else is really going to do a better job. So I write myself in for those every year.
A lot of those spaces, I actually just vote for the blank area. I just listen, somebody else, anybody else. I don't care. It could literally be vacant. I don't give a fuck. These people just don't unopposed. No, never. Mm-mm.
Most successful world champion of all time, vacant.
That's exactly it. So many championships across the globe. Lucky them. Whatever.
I don't think I'd ever want to do politics. I don't think I just don't. It's funny as a wrestler saying that I don't want to do politics because that's what most of the successful wrestlers were always about.
Right.
But yeah, I don't think I could do it. I don't think I could do it. It's just not in my realm.
You're not the next Jesse the Body?
No, I don't. There was one time actually, I remember when he was like on the campaign trail. And this is something that I kind of regret to this day. So he swung by Detroit Lakes on the campaign trail, and he was on the beach and he was doing like his, like he was going through like his plan, right? Like what his campaign promises would be. And at the end, he opened it up and he's like, if you have any questions or anything that you want to ask, I'll take 5 minutes worth of questions or whatever. And it took like everything in my power because I wanted to ask like so bad. I can't remember now it's been so long, but he had an arm wrestling contest where he turned like he obviously like cheated during it. And I wanted to ask him and go, during your arm wrestling contest with, do you remember what was going through your mind when you decided to jump him and break all the rules? So I wanted everybody to ask all these, like, what are you going to do for single families in Minnesota? What are you going to do? And I wanted to just be like, back in 1979, when you failed to do a correct arm wrestling contest, what was going through your mind? And so like, I still regret like not asking that question. And now I can't even remember like what the origin of it was, but I would have totally done it now.
Oh, of course, man. Like,
oh my god.
I would probably, if I was there, I probably wanted to ask something similar, like, "Hey, what's your real thoughts on Vern Gagne?"
Yeah, I cheated because I was smoking legal marijuana.
I know so many people too who do I love a good Jesse impression. That's so good. Like, just it comes through so well.
Yeah, we had a lot of fun with that when he was when he launched his cannabis company.
Oh my gosh, yeah. I think that's kind of what led us to doing God, what was it? The Doobie Dabbler, I think is what it was. Yeah, the festival.
Nice.
Yeah, that's why wrestling kind of came to be a part of it. So I always laugh. I was like, that's one of my favorite duality days of wrestling ever.
Oh my gosh.
Because we did the Doobie Dabbler in the afternoon, or I did because I wasn't there Friday. So we do the Doobie Dabbler in the afternoon and then head over to the Mall of America for a show in the evening. It's just like two totally different worlds crossing in.
Perfect.
Dude, that's so. What does the list look like for you, Darrin? Like the crazy places you've done, like the mall, the DV Fest, Adventureland.
Man, the Adventureland one is still like when I tell people that. I mean, that was one of my wrestling at an amusement park, of course. When I tell people that, they're jealous. Like they are so jealous. They're like, that would be my dream is to like do a show at one of those. And like also that weekend was great because I did Adventureland, but I was also still doing stuff with FSCW. So I was doing cosplay wrestling the whole weekend at the convention center. And I still remember I was back there and we were all in the locker room. And I just remember like finding when I was going to be on the card and hearing that, hey guys, make sure you can go once your match is done, before or after, blah, blah, you can go right. And I remember I just kind of walked out of the locker room and went and did like 3 rides and then came back and then was ready in time for my match. And I got one more in after the match was done before I had to head back. So that's definitely one of my favorites. I've always compared wrestling to like a weird version of the Dr. Seuss book, Oh, the Places You'll Go. Because
yeah, that's true.
Some are great, some are just a story, and you'll be like, oh man, I'm gonna at least have something to like a memory about this. But also in the same sense, like there are times where we get to do really cool stuff, like whether the venue is really awesome, like I always said, like the Chateau is like amazing, right? Like that's such a cool venue for everything. And then also with, like obviously the mall, I mean, that's going to be Mall America is going to be obviously a huge one. Yeah. But those interesting spots that you do wrestle at or where they put you at. And even if it's like, so Adventureland's awesome. Like, I mean, I think I have a really cool shot of like just even watching from the side and seeing like the roller coaster in the background, which is really cool. And then sometimes you're at the county fair wrestling and you're there, they put you in the middle of like the rodeo area or a dirt track and you're in there and it's just, you never know where you're going to end up is always the interesting thing. And I've wrestled in like some really nice college campuses that I never knew existed, or like, we did one at the St. Paul Saints game. Like that was pretty cool too, just stuff like that. But yeah, I also really do get a kick out of when you do an event that is going to be just a blast, right? And you're like, this is going to be so cool. And it's like, you got all the production, you got all the view, you got everything there. Yes, go Twins. Thank you. I saw that come through. So awesome. Yes. I'm not as optimistic this season, but I'm still going to support that.
That's the way of putting it right there for the Twins this year. Yeah.
But when you do those and then all of a sudden you're like, this is what I did this week, and then this is what I do this week, and then you're just like, well, that's just where it takes me. Because like I remember, I think I had one where I don't remember where it was before, but I remember then I was wrestling in the middle of a 4-way intersection in a town of 500 people, and they just had the ring in the middle of the one intersection in the town with a string of caution tape around, and we changed in a Holiday gas station bathroom, and I was like, "No, this is there's no way I can really get too much of an attitude because
that wasn't Wabasha, was it?
It was not. It was actually in Keewatin. This is years ago. Like,
Wabasha, you guys had like the VFW. The show was in the street because I saw you in like Wabasha on a street. I think it was.
Oh
Wabasha.
yeah. We did. Yeah, it was in the street outside the VFW, if I remember right.
Right, like right next to it. It was funny because literally next door was just the houses.
Yeah,
so, like all the neighbors were just coming out, like, "What's going on out here?" Yeah,
that one was you
were.
Too,
that's the only time I've ever seen you face.
I was against Rennie, right? Rennie D.
I think so.
Yeah. Okay. Yeah. Because it's very rare that I ever.
Dude, that was a while ago. Sorry.
No, it did. Yeah, I think that was that before or after COVID pandemic.
I think it was before.
Okay. Yeah, because I remember it was a beautiful drive all the way down there. I was like, this is gorgeous. This is awesome. Yeah. And then just like we did the show and then headed back, and it was like again a spot that I would be like, I would probably hang out and go down there again, but going down and like for wrestling or whatever, like just a quick there and back is not something unless I was wrestling that I'd be there. And that's the other funny part about all of it.
Man, amazingly enough, we just had this conversation basically about comedy right before the show. So we understand.
Yeah, I had some serious debating going on today before we came on here.
Also, I've always heard the funny part too, like a lot of times with like, music and stand-up. Because like sometimes with stand-up, they they underestimate, right? Like if we just have a podium or we just have a stage, we can work with it.
Yeah.
But they don't consider at all like what could be going on also there, right? Like that's always a huge one. Because I always think it's interesting. Like this has come up a couple times with my friends who do comedy. When they say that they're all like a bowling alley is always one of the more interesting ones because you're trying to do jokes and all you hear is just the pins in the background and strikes in the background.
Oh yeah.
And it's like, who thought, and especially like full on concentration, mostly for most bowlers. And here's somebody just, like is doing the routine. And that's something that I always get a kick out of is when people don't consider what's going on around that building. And they're just like, well, if we do this, we can have this will be entertaining, right?
The one bowling alley that I did, they didn't have bowling going on. They actually had us go out and stand on lane 9, and that's where we did the show.
Oh my gosh! Was it still oiled?
Yeah.
They were
They said, "Be careful; it could be oily." And I'm like,
you have to like penguin walk your way out there.
Fuck. It wasn't so bad, but it's just it's up in the UP, so I didn't expect much. I always tell people it's like you get to these places and they're like, yeah, we want you to stand in front of the dumpster and tell your jokes.
Thanks,
and I'm like, it wouldn't be my choice. I don't think that's the best place, but if that's how you've always done it, I'll fucking do it.
Yeah. That's another thing, like the proximity to where you are. Like because that one's always interesting too, because there's been so many times where I see like it's a corner stage. And then like right in front, like it will also be like a restaurant or like dining, and like there's people constantly bringing food or whatever.
Yeah.
So it's like try to focus on what's going on. There's people just walking in front.
Yeah.
Well, what's great is when it's in a corner, but it's also right next to the door because that's how the bar has to line up. And it's all of a sudden like, oh, hey, welcome. I know you weren't prepared for this either because no one fucking can be. Like, hey, we're here, though.
Yeah.
You didn't know this was happening. I didn't know you were going to be here. Oh, my God. Like, welcome to this.
used to be one out in Dickinson, North Dakota at the Ramkota, and your stage was a 4x4 chunk of plywood, literally within 8 feet of you, they have blackjack like they do out in North Dakota. Well, they're not going to fucking stop doing that.
Oh,
So 2 tables still playing blackjack, and go ahead and let's go.
I remember one of the venues that we used to wrestle in Minot. One of their big things was like a blackjack. They had a blackjack tournament, like I think in April or something like that, and it was like one of their biggest things that they did. And I remember like we had wrestled there so much that I got to know like some of the bartenders and the hosts, and she gave me a stack of flyers, and she's like, anytime you stop from here back to Minneapolis, like put these out. And I was like, are you sure? And she's like, oh, we get people from all over that come up, because like it's a huge deal up there. Yeah. So she's like, wherever you see it, drop these off.
Do some promoting for me, please.
Well,
I tried to do my best everywhere we stopped at. Make sure to put them like at least somewhere like, you can find them.
This guy's got to go through a bunch of places. He can work for me, huh? Let's see what we can do.
So, some of the shows we do in Iowa, we'll stop on the way back or whatever. And I saw a poster for the Now Then Threshing Show down in Clear Lake, Iowa. And I was like, who the fuck? And I'm like, oh, no, I've been in Now Then. I know that there's people, if they have farm implements, they're going up there. They're going to look to see what the hell's going on. I'm like,
oh, yeah.
It's a fucking haul, though, man. Like, that's nearly 4 hours, man. Hey, but it's farm equipment, man. I got to. Sunday I have 4 hours to do it. I'm like, I don't know, man. So crazy though.
I remember talking to a couple people who at least had like ties, and the funny thing is about that too, at least if I'm thinking about the same thing, is like families would go, or like business partners would go, whoever was owning the farm. Mm-hmm. And I remember like some of my friends would be like, yeah, my grandpa or my uncle used to go, and he would drop like $100,000 on like new equipment. And I was like, who goes to a festival or a fair is like, I got $100,000 burning a hole in my pocket just in case I need a new insert here.
Bring all the milk jugs.
Yeah. If you've never been to the Texas State Fair, it's literally a month-long fair just to sell trucks, I'm pretty certain. So that's kind of how it is. It's literally just, I'm going to go there with $80,000 of cash on my pocket. I got to get a new truck for the ranch, and away I go. It's like, what a fucking deal. What a deal.
When I lived up in Fargo, they used to have something called Big Iron. And that's all it was. It was fucking week-long selling fucking implements.
Damn. Yeah, I was going to say, I was trying to think if that sounded familiar because, like Fargo was so close to where I grew up.
Yeah.
And I remember they always used to have stuff coming through like the Fargo Dome all the time.
Oh, gosh, yeah.
Like a lot of fishing shows and stuff like that. And I knew a lot of people would get like like the fish finders and like new motors and boats and stuff like that. And then ice fishing. Like I know a lot of people would get their like ice fishing houses there and all that stuff. So I knew that came through a lot. So it doesn't surprise me because where I grew up, I knew a lot of people did, but I just thought it was interesting to go to an event like that and be like, man, I got the money to drop. And it's like, whew, that's a lot.
That's crazy, dude.
Well, can you imagine being the sales guy who's just like,
hey, come on.
Yeah. Oh, you want to spend 100,000? Well, all right.
Like, look, we're doing a buy two get one. If you really want, depending how big your farm is, if you really want success, buy two get one on this one.
Oh man,
Jesus, yeah, no shit.
I always wondered that we'd go to like the home RV and vacation show, Jay. Because the radio put it on.
We used to have to work it.
Yeah, we used to have to work it, but like as a kid, we would go to that too, though, and it was like. My family was poor. We weren't buying shit. We went for the free shit, the free rulers and keychains and any treats. And it was like, who's actually here that's spending like $60,000 on this RV right now? Oh. Like, who's doing that? Like, that's a deal? Like, what the fuck?
And like walking in, and it's like, because we had a spot that was kind of like I think it was the hockey rink, like during the county fair that we had. And like, again, that would be very similar where they would have like all alongside the one wall. And there was, dozens of them in like a hockey rink, which took up a lot of space, you know, but you're just like, I didn't know that this was big enough to host one of these. So it's just kind of funny.
Yeah,
it's always weird when you like, especially when you get in a venue like that, you're like, fuck, how, like,
yes.
Dude, that's one of the most fascinating things about venues, though. Like, especially like the like big ones, the pros and stuff, on just like the capabilities of those venues, like how they can do like almost anything in these things nowadays.
It's one of those things that stands out to me from doing conventions so much.
Yeah.
And like being at the convention kind of at the same time as it's being set up and watching, because like I have a couple friends who do a variety of different things where I didn't realize what goes into it, where you rent the space and you're there for so long. And then the idea that you're like, hey, where are you located? Oh, I'm at A32. And then trying to find where that is on a map because the actual convention center is so big.
Mhm.
But to have the floor, have the convention hall or have the actual vendor hall. And then the idea of like having to be so bold or confident or however you want to put it to be like, all right, I'm going to drop this amount to be a vendor. And I'm hoping this crowd is into what I have, And I think that would just be such a risk for me. Cause I think of myself at the merch table. And I've always said my merch sales are always like this. Like sometimes I'm like, this is gonna be a great day, and sometimes I'm like, nobody gives a shit. I'm like, and I'm ready to check out like right away if that happens.
Mm-hmm.
So I think to myself, where you're like, all right, I'm gonna drop X amount of money, and you can make it back. Definitely, and like a lot of my friends who are like who are artists or writers or anything like that, like they have unique, really cool stuff. So of course, there is the option, but like, what if it is not that type of crowd? Or also too, like, it's a whole weekend. So you're like, you start on Friday and you're like, well, I did okay on Friday. Let's hope Saturday's better when everyone's off work and everyone's coming, because that's generally the big day. But the idea of being like getting your foot in the door and then selling this much product to make it back. Mm-hmm. And then on top of that, it's like such a gamble to me. And I'm always impressed with the people who can do it. But like, again, I think of it from like a wrestling standpoint. I'm like, that's a risk.
You know what also sucks about those things is if you're doing it as a vendor is like you're fucking load in and load out, because it's just it's a fight. It's a fight to get a spot. Because we used to, when I had a DJ company here, we'd do the big wedding show they do in Rochester every year. And like you said, it's a gamble. It's like, okay, we need to book this many weddings to make sure we just made good on this. And on top of that, you got 4 other DJs in the building, 5 other DJs in the building. You don't know what they're talking about. It's not a big area, so we all know each other, Yeah. So it's like, fuck. But the worst was the load in and load out, because you're like, and at that, especially load out, because everybody's just pissed. They're ready to go. You've been there all morning, all day. So like, cars are just trying to pull at the same time, flipping each other off, honking. It's just like, I just want to get out of here.
And nobody knows how to organize the like actual lot to like, if you're able to back up there, great. The amount of times where I've watched the loadout now and been like, aha, you can see who's done this before, because they have the fancy wagon, like the collapsible this and the collapsible that. But watching people come out with like, one is for the setup alone, like your display, and the other is for your product, or the other 2 or 3 carts are for your product. That's right. Oh, that's wild to me.
Well, so when we with Absolute Pro Wrestling, their first place in Waterloo was at the National Cattle Congress, which was a very weird spot. But literally the next building down was the flea market. So, we'd finished with the setup, and I sometimes would wander down, and I'm like, yeah, it's the same thing. I would never know, like, why are you here? Like, first of all, this is not on the side of the river that you think people are going to be interested in commerce, first of all, in Waterloo. But then also you are selling some stuff that only people in Iowa would probably buy, to be real fair.
Dude, I don't know, though. I love a good flea market.
We have one in my hometown of Detroit Lakes that normally in the summer, I think it runs either Thursday through Sunday, or like every week, or at least every weekend. And while a lot of it is very much the same, there's some very interesting stuff that comes through there. And I'm always like, there's got to be a hidden gem, like I know specifically there's one guy, and he always has like sealed NASCAR items. And I'm just like, right there has to be like somebody who's like a big Richard Petty or Dale Earnhardt guy, right? And you're like, that to the right person has to be something. And so it's interesting to me. I'm always like, I don't know enough about it to know if it's a like, do I buy and sell or how to do that?
Right.
But yeah, a lot of those too, you just stumble upon, and like flea markets actually used to be my favorite for like video games.
Oh, yeah.
Because a lot of times it wasn't that people had something that was rare, but they had something that they were just trying to unload. So you could get great deals on stuff like that. And like,
Yep.
I was piecing together my Super Nintendo collection like not too long ago, and flea markets were great for that. Like $3, $4 for games that online are going for like $30.
Dang.
It's the give and take of it all, right?
Oh yeah, and that's
Yeah.
another risk.
What's that collection looking like right now? Complete it?
So the funny part is with the Super Nintendo, I actually did a really good job. Like if there was a game from my childhood that I played a lot, I was pretty good at almost getting everything I wanted. I think I'm trying to think if I'm right on this. There might be like 2 games because I wasn't going after anything like Chrono Trigger or anything like that. I had like I was always thinking the games of what did I get substantial late fees on, from Red But now, and this came in handy this past weekend, I actually got one of those Retro Snap, the like Game Boy looking things.
Yeah.
And now I've been going through those, and sometimes I'll play games that I'm like, oh yeah, I remember, and I'll see if it's on there. And there's actually one that's really fun for me. I used to play it all the time. It was Baseball Simulator, Super Baseball Simulator 1000. And it's the one where it was like, it was nobody real, nothing like that, but there was one group that was in a league that had like ultra power-ups. So like you could turn the ball into a bomb. Some guys would be super fast. Some of the pitches were like, lightning fast ball or a lead ball that could break bats. So it was kind of like a fun little game. I used to play it a lot because you could do a season mode on there, which was pretty cool. But for example, like I was playing, I realized that when I got it, I had never played like any of the other Donkey Kong games. So I played like Donkey Kong Country 1. I never played like 2 or 3. So I was like, now I can go back and play these. And there's also so many different versions of other games I never really got a chance to, or never really got my hands on, that now I can go back and play, like all the Mega Mans and stuff like that. So it actually came in handy for this flight because going down Sun Country, I didn't have any like tablet or internet stuff to hook up to. So I had my Retro Snap that when I realized I wasn't going to be sleeping as much as I thought I was, I pulled that out and I started playing that a little bit. So that fills in some of the gaps for some of the games that I either didn't have or were looking for. Because like one that's the one that I know specifically is for Super Nintendo. It was the Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles Tournament Fighter Edition.
Okay.
And that one's kind of like, some people either really know it or people are like, I had no idea that exists. It was just a fun kind of like Street Fighter style game. And the other one is Mutant League Football for the Sega. They have that on there. And that one is great. There is one for PS4 that's like a version of it, but I miss like all the crazy stuff you could do on there. So that one was fun to get.
I remember Mutant League. That shit was fun.
Hockey.
The hockey one. Yeah.
You mentioned growing up in Detroit Lakes area. So are you a Zorba's guy, or do you find them overrated?
I do like Zorba's. It's one of those deals where sometimes it's kind of interesting to me because like when I do go home, I don't actually, it's not one that I crave. And Zorba's is kind of around other places too. So like, it wasn't one that I crave, but if I were to be like a friend wanted to meet up, or if we brought back a Zorba's pizza, it'd be great. The thing that I have pleasant memories about is I used to have one of my best friends. He had a pontoon that was on Detroit Lake.
Oh yeah.
So we would push off and we would go to like we would leave the dock. And then you could call Zorba's. And by the time the pontoon got to Zorba's, you could just get off on the beach, go across, grab your food. It'd be ready by the time you got there, hop back on the pontoon and head to the sandbar. And then hang out. So we used to do that quite frequently. But a lot of times lately when I've been around, I don't really venture too much into town often. The last time I was there was probably like maybe just a couple of years ago. But I do like the pizza. I do like it. It's just not my first go-to when I'm back home.
Gotcha.
I wanted to talk about this. You're a big baseball guy, Twins guy. You go to a lot of games.
Yes.
You got the helmet collection. What's it? The ice cream? You do the ice cream in the helmet?
So
Oh, shoot. He's got him right there, guys.
yeah, I got it. Yeah. So I have the ice cream helmets. I got those. I'm trying to find how I can kind of display them in a certain way. I have an idea, but I'm trying to think of like how to hang them.
Oh, hell yeah.
you know?
Hell yeah.
But I have my house upstairs in my room, there is these weird shelves that are there, and they're just wide enough for the nacho helmets.
Yes.
So for 2 years when I was here, I was like, what are these shelves even for? Like, what would you put here other than something that's like a knickknack or whatever?
Yeah.
So now the nacho helmets have gone there.
Oh, hell yeah.
And if I've counted correctly, I need 8 more to cover the shelf. So
hell yeah.
there's part of there's part of one shelf and then the bottom row. And I think the bottom row is 6 and then 2 more to go. So
Take it
So-
easy there, Bryce.
Dude, I've
all
made it
know-
known.
We all know about the Cubs, Bryce. Easy does it.
I've
look,
made it.
I was the Cubs. I just did a Wrigley tour back in May. I've been to the Cubs. So I've been to Wrigley. I did a tour of the stadium back in May. That was super awesome. I've always liked the Cubs because I'm a huge Ryan Sandberg guy. So I was always a big, I did enjoy the Cubs. So if I have to see a National League team succeed, I'll always go for the Cubs. But when the Twins play the Cubs, I got to go with the Twins.
Attaboy.
Mhm.
Yeah.
Okay, so what I want to know is what is top stadium snack or just, sporting event snack, and what's the most overrated?
Oh, okay. So
Yeah, let's get into it, guys.
Ooh,
Let's get
this is
into it
good.
because you brought up the nacho helmets. Like, dude, I've made it known. Like, I'm not a huge baseball. I like going to the games, but I don't follow it. But
Yeah.
my favorite thing of going to a Twins game is literally so I can get my helmet of nachos.
yes.
Like, that's my thing.
So the cool thing, nacho helmets are always normally I don't mind the chicken tender helmet or the cheeseburger helmet, but the nacho one's the best, right? Also, I got to give a huge shout out to my buddy Steve Rude because he got me addicted to this. I will use SeatGeek a lot to try and get the Thrivent Club, the little area that's just right below the press.
Mhm.
And they have their own little dining area. So you can only go in there if you're a ticket holder for the A through S, I think is the area. I can't remember. So I've sat up there and I love those spots because it's spacious and it's right off of the field. So you can see down and and I've gotten those for really good deals, but the nacho helmets in there have extra fixings that they don't do on the helmets that you can just get regular.
Oh,
So
really?
that's the ones where you can do the different salsa, like the tomatillo salsa and the roasted corn salsa. And they have a crema, and rather than just putting nacho cheese on it and sour cream, you can do the crema spread, or you can do shredded chicken or whatever. So those are really good. And I love that. And there's also a spot in there that is, they have a brick and mortar location, I believe too, called it's the North Loop Deli, and they have a location in there, and I really like their food. So I dig the Thriving Club. I'm always a big fan of that one. The funny part is I think just naturally growing up a Twins fan and you always kind of remember Dome Dogs.
Oh, yeah.
Oh.
Dude. Yeah.
So the $1 dog deal, the Tuesday nights,
Dollar Dome Dog.
I still can't pass that up. And even though I can't have as many as I used to when I was a kid, I could, man, when I was a teenager, I could polish those off. But
Dude, for real.
so I definitely look and see what games are on Tuesdays because I take advantage of that. I might as well. I would say by default, I kind of always lean towards a nacho helmet because, obviously I'm collecting them and I think that those are really good. The overrated stuff that I'm kind of it's kind of hard to say because I don't feel Minnesota really fits into this because I don't think it's something that they really advertise or really care about. But I just was never a big fan of in elementary school, grade school. My school almost ruined corn dogs for me. Yeah, like the breading was always soggy. The hot dog inside was always cold. So I can't really, like, unless you do something special with a corn dog at a ball game, I don't care. Like if you're like, well, it's a fancy, like the barbecue is in the batter or it's a cheese-filled bratwurst inside it, like maybe then. But if somebody's like, I got to go get a corn dog, I'm like, I'll pass. It's just not something that really stands out to me. Obviously I don't drink. So like, I've never really been one. And I'm guessing I save a ton of money that way.
Tom?
So that's a good thing. But,
let me tell you, not drinking at a ball game is the way to go. Drinking at a ball game will cost you fucking a leg.
Oh my gosh. Like I remember I watch people ring up stuff, and I'm just like, yikes. However, I think if I had to pick, like, this is always another interesting one because there's the Legends Landing where, your food is included, right?
Mm-hmm.
And a lot of times, like when I go there, they'll have the burgers, they'll have the hot dogs, the chips, and like peanuts and all that stuff. I've just never really been one to understand like getting peanuts at a game, like.
Thank you.
Yeah, I eventually I get bored of having to work in life just like for this little like peanut, like, and I've made a huge mess. I look like a slob, and I don't even get through the whole bag, and then I get sick of them by the time I'm through the whole bag. So like the whole like peanut and Cracker Jack thing is not really my thing at a game. So I mean, like I said, I'll do the hot dog throwback to the dome dog all day long. I'll do the ice cream even and all that stuff. But yeah, I don't know. It never really, same thing with like, like popcorn. I associate popcorn with movie, not the game. Yeah. I'll have it if you have it, but I don't need to be like, oh, we need to get a popcorn.
Right. Well, I get it when I need to munch on something, but I don't want to spend money. I'll get popcorn.
Yep, there you go. So I would say that's probably my overrated one. Like
peanuts, though. Thank you. Because like
it worked its way into a song, like all right, yeah.
Like I never understood why peanuts were so associated with being at like a ball game, and like why do I like? There's so much other things.
Well, congratulations, because so many people are now allergic to peanuts that they can't really be sold almost anywhere. So
yeah. I've noticed that that's been it's a very. If it's a public place, it's not some place where you really see just like peanuts being sold anymore.
I mean, Corner Bar used to, when, the comic club there for a long time, they had to stop selling them because some of the comics that would go and be booked couldn't even walk into the venue because their allergies were so bad and so allergic to peanuts that even the smell of it, they couldn't even go in.
Oh, yeah.
Dusty's, where I work, they no longer have peanuts because it's such a small bar that if somebody opens a bag on one end, you could still smell and get some residual effect all the way on the other side of the bar. So.
Isn't that like I can't remember. I don't think Texas Roadhouse has done away with it, but isn't it only on request now?
I think so, because I don't think they can have it just right there by the entrance. Is another big thing. That's why a lot of places just switch over to popcorn machines. First of all, it's super cost effective, as Ace mentioned, and then you just make as much as you fucking want. If you burn some, whatever. There's some birds outside that will eat it. Who cares?
Oh yeah, you could easily get rid of that.
Dude, but you know what, dude? At my work in the break room, there's a lady who like purposely burns her popcorn every day because she loves it, and then just for a fucking hour, it just reeks.
That smell does not go away.
Oh, so it pisses me off every time. Every time we see her too, and we're like, no,
she's going towards the.
We're like, oh no, or we'll be working in our little bay, and all of a sudden, just like you get the whiff, and it's like, oh man.
We all know who Ace is going to stab at work first.
Yeah, that smell of like burnt popcorn with butter on top.
Yeah,
it's like it smells like somebody spilled on a oven top. That's what it like. Stove top is what it smells like.
I mean, it's still not the worst thing you can do to a microwave at work, but it's up there.
Yeah.
Never recook fish or nuke fish. Don't ever do that. It's the worst.
It's so funny. Like a lot of times, like whenever I've been to a spot that's like public and it has a microwave or whatever, like sometimes I'll even have, a fancy, like not fancy, I guess, but I'll have like shrimp fried rice. and I'll be like, well, this was made at Benihana. It should be fine. I have leftovers. And then I think about it, I'm like, oh yeah, that's all you're gonna smell for a while. If it's, so it's like, it's like you get that coworker or something who's like, oh, it's Trout Thursday.
Yeah. If it's if it's a lake fish for sure, like walleye, salmon, or any natural or fresh water, especially, don't redo that. Shrimp, you get a little bit of leniency because it's not as bad. But people who try to reheat tuna melts, first of all, I'm like,
oh god,
first of all, that gets cooked one time and then that's it.
Yeah.
You don't get to reheat that because first of all, you will get sick. Yeah. All right, that's just number one. But then number two, everybody has to smell your stupid ass fucking dinner from last night, and no one wants that.
The thing about that one too is I don't think I've ever had a tuna melt and been like, oh, I should save some of this for later.
Right, dude.
Bingo, dude. No joke. It's one of the worst. Again, even at Dusty's working the door, where there was an old lady one time, she ordered a tuna melt, ate half of it, and then sat there for 3 hours with it just smelling up the place. I was like,
3 hours.
First of all, I hope you don't eat
she was saving it, or was just still sitting there on the plate.
She was clearly planning on still eating some of it later. I was just like, you shouldn't, lady. It's gross now.
Oh my god,
what the fuck? Because there is you get about half an hour of good, solid tuna melt eating time after it comes out hot, and that's really about it. You shouldn't really go further than half an hour with that.
Oh, tuna's one where I don't mind it. It's I'll do my own here, but there's no way that I'm not. It's never going to be left over.
Malice just asked if that was the sandwich. I don't know. Actually, that's a good question. I was assuming it was the sandwich. I don't really know. Thank you for ruining my whole appetite ever again, Malice. You fuck. Jesus, why are you doing this to me, man?
That's hilarious.
When I saw that comment come through, I was like, wait, ew. I was like, did I
very much you? Yeah.
That's hilarious.
I mean, hygiene is the thing we all understand. Oh my god. Well, so speaking of hygiene, and obviously, you being with all these shows and all these different promotions and stuff like that, and people maybe want signatures or photos afterwards. Have you ever had to tell somebody no because of hygiene issues?
So, I don't think I've had a moment where I've had to totally put a a blockade, right?
Right.
I've definitely had a moment though where I've taken a picture with somebody, and after they've left, I've kind of been like, oh, it feels like it's on you, right?
Mm-hmm.
And I have had that, and I'm like, oh boy. Obviously, from my standpoint, my thing is, I think after I wrestle, and I'm like, God only knows what combination I'm going to smell like, because what a wrestler wears or anything like that. And sometimes you just, from rolling around with somebody else or whatever, you feel like you just smell like the combination of all the sweat in the ring or the person you wrestled, or if they had, Tiger Balm or whatever it is. And you're just like, that when you're like, this is not how I smell naturally. Gross. There's
right.
that. The one that I've had where I've kind of had to I always kind of have to take a step back, and I never wanted to be, I know this sounds funny coming from me, I never wanted to be rude about it just because I never know if there is a health issue.
Right.
But I've definitely always I've done stuff where I've backed off a little bit because of really bad breath.
Mm-hmm.
That's one that's really got me. So a lot of times I'll be like, oh, hey, real quick, I'm going to stand back. I stink. I'm really sorry. I'm going to put a little space because I've also been feeling under the, I've always made an excuse for that one where I've been like, right. I'm feeling a little under the weather. I don't want to get you sick. I'm going to put a space. But yeah, bad breath generally is the one that gets me a lot at the show because I'm always like, oh boy, it hits you right away.
Yes.
And I can't focus on anything else of the conversation if we have that. And
yeah, I've been at some shows where that's happened, and it's like,
and they're always the hardest mouth breathing people.
And what sucks is they're the nicest too, and they want to talk to you, and they're genuinely interested, and they're very big fans, and it's like, yeah.
And because like it's the thing. It's not intentional, but I can just tell, like, normally when they're talking, they're just like, it's so good to see you. It's like they just exhale and you just get it. And like that's, again, like I said, I just never know if there is a tie or however it works. So I just always try and be like, oh, hey man, like, sorry, I don't want to get too close. I'm not feeling too well. So now if anyone's watching this and then I say that, they're gonna be like, oh, he thinks I smell like.
Hey, but honestly, sometimes that is for the benefit, because if they are watching and they understand where that's coming from, sometimes people just need a little bit of shove in the right direction, whether it be, hey, not that you need to, necessarily, brush your teeth more, but it might be something like a bad tooth or, halitosis or something. Like it could literally just be a sickness that you just don't even realize you have, kind of thing. So yeah, bad breath being one thing. It's just more, and I'm not even trying to stereotype all wrestling fans this way, because we've all just been around people where it's like, all right, listen, like, at the grocery store, like, I don't know what is with this person, but like, I can't be here now. Like, I gotta go. But, unfortunately, in this realm of wrestling, we get a lot of those people where it's like, all right, I'm just going to deal with the stench. It happens.
I have definitely walked the conventions or the grocery store, like anywhere wrestling or whatever. I've definitely walked down like an aisle or a pathway and been like, oh God. And like, it's hit me, I'm like, oh, like you just,
Yep. It's like fucking Pigpen from the Peanuts, where it's just that cloud following him.
Would you like to hear my horrible story about when I worked in grocery stores up in Duluth?
Yes.
So I was ill and had just moved up to Minneapolis in 1984. I was supposed to go to Duluth and work at the super value stores up there. I told my boss, I don't feel good. He says, well, go up, you can come back and go to the doctor. So I go up to Duluth. I go to the first store. Everything's fine. I'm staying overnight. I go to the Country Kitchen when they still had those things.
Hell yeah.
And because I don't feel great, but in my stupid mind, I'm like, you know what would be good? A bowl of chili. So I have my bowl of chili. I go home. I sleep. I wake up first thing in the morning, go to another super value store out in Denfield or wherever the hell it was. There's not many people there. And I start feeling my stomach gurgle a little bit. And I'm like, uh-oh, probably shouldn't have had the chili. There's nobody in the aisle. So I let it fly. And my God, it was horrible. Even to me, just disgusting. And I'm like, shit, I'm probably sick. So I go on
definitely
about
means something's wrong inside.
Again, and I out it comes, and it's horrible. So to let you know, I'm working in the dog food section, pet supplies. That's what I'm working on. And
before you can bring dogs inside too. So
yeah, and across the aisle is baby care, diapers and stuff. Around the corner comes a woman with a small child in the seat of the cart. She comes by me. I can tell she smells it. Checks the kid's diaper. Looks around. Checks his diaper a second time. And I'm just like,
Jared's like running for the exit all of a sudden. Like,
did you check your diaper? Jesus.
She checked the diaper 2 times. That's how lousy it smelled.
How'd you not shit yourself if it was that bad?
The idea that I'm already on board that she blamed the kid. Like that's my favorite, is like, oh yeah, that's got to be the kid. Oh.
Jeez, and that was when I was young. Now if I were to do that, they'd say, "Sir, do you need help?"
That's not healthy. It's not healthy.
Oh my God! No.
Oh man.
I had actually, I don't know if I've ever shared this on. I've shared this story before, but I don't think I've ever shared it on like anything like this. So this one's always a good one. I love our topic, like just natural progression.
Dude, it's old friends. That's what we do when you come on. Like,
I had like normally like in a match, like it's not something that maybe like after the match I'll be gassy or whatever. But there was one time I was wrestling. So I won't be able to get through this without laughing. It's one of my favorite ones. So I was wrestling for Primetime Wrestling. We did a show at the Poorhouse downtown, and it was just like a small little show. And for a long time, when I was doing Primetime, there was a character called Doug, and it was like an alien style character, and there were multiple incarnations of Doug because you never wanted to know who the real one was. But it was funny because I actually really enjoyed doing the character. I really had a blast doing it. So the main thing is Doug never really was not supposed to be like a trained wrestler. So like he would always like just do rolls and like tickle his opponents. And then the key was they would play Teach Me How to Dougie over at some point you would just call for it. They would play it over the PA and you would just do like a weird like dance like to whatever. So that was like the whole gimmick. But it was like the crowd loved it. Like all the kids in the crowd always loved this gimmick because like then they would dance with it and it was actually pretty funny. But there was like taller Dougs and smaller Dougs, and then there was like at one point there was two of us. And so I was doing I don't think he'll care if I give it away, but I was actually doing Doug, and my tag partner for this time was Darius Martin, was doing Doug. So we're doing double Doug.
Double Doug.
Love it.
And we're wrestling Wildcat and Thunder Frog.
Nice.
And so there is a point. So the Poorhouse was a small, intimate venue. And there was no guardrails or anything. So there was like maybe 50 people at this one because it was just small little show that they were doing. And it was one of those ones where people are right up on the ring. So like they're just right there and they can pound the mat if they want. So like anyway, Thunder Frog goes to give me a big swing, like Cesaro style. Whatever I had, whatever it was, whatever it is, I just let a heinous fart go. And I knew it was going to be bad because, like, when you release it, you know it's going to be bad. So he puts me down, and there's like everyone's down at some point. I think that might have been the last thing. And so Darius is down, Wildcat's down, and Frog is down. And I have to say that there's a Doug mask, but it's also a full body suit. So, but like the Doug mask can go here. And so, because I think everyone kind of understands this. When you let one go that's real bad, it changes like the temperature around you. Like that's how you know. So my whole
it's so warm in here now.
Yeah, my whole suit got warm, and I was like, "Oh, this is gonna be so bad." And I'm like, I wonder if anyone will notice. And Darius climbs over and he goes, "Oh my god, dude, was that you?" And at that stage, I just start dying. So I'm laughing already. So you could probably see the mask be like, and then the other key part is I hear Wildcat over in the corner. He's like, "Oh my god." So then I keep laughing more, but then in a mutual spot, everyone's trying to rally Frog and Cat, and they're pounding on the mat. And so I turn and I'm like, "Oh my god, they're circulating it. They're making it go." I was like, there's no way that they cannot smell it. And then Thunder Frog just goes, "Wowee, who shit their fucking pants?" Now I'm done. Now I can't stop laughing. Like, I can't even get up like off the ground. I don't know if I took the finish. I don't know what it even was. I'm dying. So like if somebody picked me up for something, I'm still laughing. Like I laughed from that point all the way up. And it was so.
Oh my
and I just remember getting in the locker room, and I know Darius takes off. He's like, "Was that you?" And I was like, "Yeah." I was like, "Everyone got it, everyone." And it's one of my favorite, like, funniest moments. But I will always remember Thunderfrog just being like, "Wow, who shit their fucking pants?" And like, I know everyone could hear it, like it's that close.
Yeah.
So all of these elements together just make I've never laughed so hard for so long in a match.
Oh my God.
I've had moments where I've broken. I've had moments where I've just like I've laughed but gotten it back on track. But like that one, I couldn't stop laughing, and I think it was just a whole combination of a perfect storm there, and it's ridiculous. And like I just read this comment that came through where there's a Andre the Giant, yes, sharding himself mid-show. There's also, I don't know if anyone's really familiar with this, but there's a term, like I think it was Dusty Rhodes who referred to things as a muffler, where you'd wad up a bunch of like toilet paper and you put it like in your cracks, so in case you shit yourself, it blocked it. And I think there was one story where he bumped and he was like, "Daddy, my muffler fell out."
That also had to look real weird back in the day. He's just,
oh no,
the fuck is that?
Yeah, and like I've never had to get to that stage, so that's good. But man, I always remember it called a muffler to prevent it from.
Oh God,
that's insane, dude.
Wow. I mean, that's a good term for it, though. Like, you know, a little bit of prevention back there. You never know.
It's hilarious because last night I watched a YouTube video of like the 10 stinkiest wrestlers,
Oh, yeah.
and it was just good. It was hilarious because this is like some of it. I think Big Show was on the list, and it was for his gas.
Oh yeah,
You know, Vader for never washing his gear.
yeah, because Vader, like, wasn't the deal he got like notorious heat for it or something, or like got a lot of heat for it.
Shawn Michaels was giving a lot of heat because his pits were fucking terrible too. So, or at least that was the idea.
Yeah, I do remember like there was a couple stories I always heard, and like the funny thing with the Andre one is I remember like all the stories like of Andre, like how much he loved like flatulence in general, and like I still love that story on the like Princess Bride set, and he just releases one, and they're like, "Are you okay?" "I am now, boss." Like, and then I think it's pretty like well known the one of Mr. Fuji ribbing Yokozuna on the plane and giving him laxatives before they got on the plane, and he was so big, so he couldn't get into the lavatory, and they had to bring a waste bucket. And he's like shitting into the waste bucket, like in the plane, you know, like not enclosed. Because I can't remember what he did or like who he supposedly disrespected, but like Mr. Fuji was like a key prankster. And like,
oh, dude, he was evil. The stories about that guy. Didn't he feed someone their dog or something?
I'm pretty positive that was the origin of the Al Snow Boss Man Pepper thing.
Like he legit did that. Like, I have.
How do you not go to jail for something like that?
Fuji is a gangster because you're Fuji, man. Like, first of all, you don't that little man. You're like, you can't do that.
But the idea that Yoko at that time too is like, you know, he's 600 pounds.
Oh, dude.
So he can't get into one of the lavatories, and I believe he was sitting like he was always in the front because he had the two seats.
Yeah.
And so then they're bringing waste baskets, and imagine you're the poor flight attendant.
God.
He's like, I did not sign up for this. That would have been my last day on the.
I mean, yeah. What are you doing? You telling him to sit on the bucket as you're holding up a fucking like blanket, like.
And then someone has to go dump it.
And where do you put it?
Like in the toilet, like you have to dump, like.
It's like I think it reminds me a little bit about like Cartman from the like Warcraft. Like that's probably
bathroom now, man.
Oh my god. Oh.
Half packet. Oh god, that's
my word.
When I first saw that episode, I was dying.
Oh.
So gross.
Just the progression over time, like that.
Oh, it was so nuts. Oh my gosh. Yeah, no. Yeah, Fuji fucking fed someone his dog. That's crazy. The ribs were hard back then, dude. That guy had no one speed. Like it was anyone I've ever talked to who's like talked about him was like, dude, yeah, if you fucking don't.
Like the fact that you would feel like unsafe because of you don't know what's gonna happen if you're getting ribbed. Like some of them where you're like, oh, these are, you know, like nowadays it's like, oh, these are just fun little pranks, like fun little ribs, and then you know, like all the famous ones where you're like, 1, 2, 3 kid with no eyebrows, and you know, like you know, the plane ride from hell, all those things, and oh my gosh, you know, like, but hearing stories of like Rowdy Piper, you know, like, do you want it enough, kid? And like they drop him off, and he had to hitchhike to the building to make sure he made it on time, just to show that he wanted to be there. Like that's insane when you think about that.
Dude, I still crack up that he actually had to go like days painted half black.
Oh yeah, because the whatever.
Because that, yeah, it wouldn't come off. It's like that serves you right, bro. Like,
yeah, like, oh well, yeah. Looking back, like, probably not the best idea in general. Not even at that time, but like, man, now you're stuck with it. Like, not just in a wrestling setting. Oh,
I can't even believe, like, I mean, he obviously did an episode of Always Sunny in Philadelphia. I can't even believe they haven't done something more other than just like the Lethal Weapon 4/12 or whatever the fuck one they did. Like, I always figured like that would be the one where it's like, no, we do more blackface on this just to make sure like everybody knows that we're just not serious about any of this. I'm like
Charlie does blackface this episode.
Yeah.
Yeah, like it was always interesting, like that one and the Nation of Domination doing, you know, like how that kind of just like slid, and then it gets brought up, but like no one ever really like really drives it home. It's like, oh, it happened.
Yeah.
But,
yeah, the DX stuff was just, that was next level when they did the Nation impersonations.
Yeah. Oh, Kurt Hennons.
Well, and then the thing is too, is I remember like at the age when I was watching that, and at no point, you know, like I'm watching it going, oh, this is funny. They're dressed up as the Nation. Yeah. But at no point did it ever like strike me then. And now, like when I look back at it, I'm like, oh God, you know, like, oh my God, like you thought that was okay? Like,
yeah. It is crazy. It's crazy to see how just times have changed and how because we're all generally around the same era here. So like,
well, 3 or 4 of us are.
Fuck off, Tom.
I was including you, JR.
I know, and
but
I
like,
appreciate you.
We've all seen the swing. You know what I mean? Like we were there when it was like that was acceptable, and now we're here where it's like, damn, that wasn't actually acceptable, but we didn't know no better then. Wow.
I think it's crazy. Like the one thing that I just always bring to a forefront is like when people are like, whenever somebody says, especially with wrestling or in general, where they're like, people should know better. I'm like, it's sad to say that how long ago is not that long ago. You know, like that's the thing. Like when you look at the dialogue and the signs in the crowd and the storylines, and you're like, that's only 20 to 25 years ago, 30 years ago tops.
Yep.
And you're like, we're not exactly like 1 foot out of the cave here type of like just figuring out. And like some people will talk about it and be like, you know, people have grown up and they've and like from a wrestling standpoint, I think about it, I'm like, ugh, I still remember some of the promos. I still remember how many people brought signs to shows to get like all the slurs that they were using that would show up like on the hard cam side.
Yeah.
Yep.
Yeah.
And I was like, so to me, I'm always like, I'm so glad that wrestling is at least, you know, like cleaning things up, or society in general is like being smart and more aware. But like, I just always have to think about it. I'm like, that was not long ago. That blows my mind. Like when I think of that, a lot of that stuff.
I was thinking about it too, because I saw something about like just old cell phones, and I was like, Jesus Christ! Like, first of all, we've seen the full blown evolution of the cellular phone, and then on top of that, like the thing boomed. Like in the early 2000s on, it was like, holy shit, how did we just jump from like this thing is a cool little flip phone to I got a computer in my hand now?
The change when like a data plan became something, and you just like the spike in like data and all the, you know, like all the jokes of you'll never have a calculator in your pocket, you'll need to know math, and then it's like boom, calculator, boom, instant access to anything you want on Google.
Yeah, I don't need to know shit.
Because
Just look
before
this
for
up real
me,
quick.
like what I always thought was the when I graduated. So
What
I
year?
graduated high school in 2003.
Okay.
I
I'm
think-
01. What were
I
you
think
saying?
3 of my classmates had cell phones.
Yeah.
And majority of the reason you had a cell phone is just so your parents could call you to find out where you were. It was
Correct.
never like, it was, look, if something happened, you could call us, but I need to track you, like that was the main reason. And then I think like texting and then data, like the moment you could access the internet from everywhere, like that's a
Yeah,
whole new
dude.
world,
Dude, I remember the first time my parents let me and a buddy drive from Rochester to Minneapolis on our own. They sent me with the big bagged cellular phone that was in like the zip bag and had the thing. It was like a whole thing, and I was just like, "What the? All right, cool. We got a phone. Let's go."
Like I think my first phone that I had was a track phone my freshman year of college. And that was solely for, but that was also one where it's like a prepaid like minutes. You only had like 60 minutes or something like that on there. And then I believe it was when I blew my tire on the way up to Duluth. And when I blew my tire, I was like, I was running out of minutes.
Mm-hmm.
And then my parents were like, we should probably get you we should get you on our plan and then get a phone. Because
Dude,
I was like, middle of the night.
That was my favorite way to have people not bother me during the week. Is like, yo, don't waste my fucking time. You better call me like after 8 or on the weekends. Like, what are we doing here?
Yeah,
Oh, yeah,
'cause
3
the
minutes
time frame too.
9.
Like because it was like after a certain time, like call, and
Yeah.
that's insane. And it was like, oh, I can't call now because it will use my minutes and all that stuff. So, but it's such a weird, and like that's not even that long ago, like that's wild.
Crazy. It's
Yeah. Hey,
crazy.
JR, answer this question real quick. What year?
What year did you graduate?
It would be 06 AD.
There it is. You just knew I was going to probably have like an 18.
Yeah, 6 years after Jesus, I graduated.
Hell yeah.
Good for you. Yeah,
Well,
one of the original apostles right here.
There you go. I tell you, the funny thing, you talk about all the phones and all that. If I were to try to tell my father, who passed away, that I was going to send him pictures of his grandkids on my phone, he would probably have me hospitalized. Because he passed away before any of this. So he just would not, and my grandparents, absolutely not. I mean, Dick Tracy had the watch phone.
Yeah.
And that shit's come true. But
Like we all got them now.
back then that was just such gigantic fantasy.
This thing's great though, man. I wake up and it's like, hey, you did great sleeping. Like, thanks. I'm ready for my day. Like that was a nice way to start.
Mine was pretty pissed at me this weekend because I got back from Phoenix, and then I just like when I landed, I was whatever, and I remember at like mid afternoon, I was like, why am I so tired? And I was like, I knew I didn't really get a lot of sleep, and I like looked at my little thing on my Fitbit, and when I looked at it, it had the like I'm disappointed in you face. It's like you should really sleep more.
Fuck you, wristwatch. I don't need your approval.
I didn't buy you for this.
No, it's actually funny because I there's a gal at work. She's in HR. She has one of the Aura rings that like tracks her sleep and everything. And she ended up cutting her finger pretty bad and had to get stitches. So they actually cut off her first Aura ring. She said it was the only thing in her life that she was going to buy over and over again. If it ever breaks or loses it, she's going to buy one immediately. I go, oh, would you say it's your precious? And she looked at me so fucking like blank. She goes, what do you, I go, from Lord of the Rings. She goes, oh, I'm not into nerd shit. I go, that's just not even nerd shit. That's just really part of, it's won Oscars, you bitch. Like,
I
don't
thought
be
that
that
was
way.
pop culture. Like,
Yeah.
It's pop culture.
Yeah.
Who doesn't know the Precious?
Well, I mean, yeah,
Who
she
doesn't
didn't
know
get the
that?
joke. And I was like,
I love that she was like, you fucking nerd.
yeah. I'm like, I mean, she's also in her 20s. So I'm just like, listen, I don't need your shit.
He's looking at you, Tom, like, who's this old fucking nerd over here talking to me? What the fuck?
Like, yeah,
No
yeah,
way.
listen, I'm not an asshole, but like,
Well, let's debate them.
sometimes I am.
Gross, man.
Yeah,
Gross.
okay, fair. But I was like, this is a good fucking joke, and you just blank. And I was like, wasted. Fucking
I
wasted.
I always like the idea on those jokes when like somebody will say something like that, and it's like it's as if you're the crazy one for not assuming that you don't know this movie series that like everybody can talk about and recite at least a part, even if you haven't seen everything.
Correct.
Like,
Yeah.
You know, like the idea where you could throw up a meme and I'd be like, Lord of the Rings. You know, like I would know that what it's from, right?
Yeah.
And she like looks at you like you have two heads, and she's like, what do you mean? I'm not into nerd shit. Or are you into the world? Do you know what like movies are? Like I'm guessing you would have heard of this at one point.
Exactly.
Well, so maybe this was just because maybe this is a guy thing, but I'd like to think not. When I was years ago, was living with my roommate, his at the time fiance was living with us. We had the conversation of, well, we should watch a Sylvester Stallone movie because we haven't watched a Sly movie in a minute, and you got to get one in every once in a while. And she's like, "Who?" So we're like, fucking Rocky, Rambo, like what do you want? And she like knew nothing about this. Nothing. We're like over the top. She's like, what's that? We're like, you don't know what. So we made her watch. Maybe we should have started with Rocky.
Should always start with
We
Rocky.
started her with Over the Top because me and him were
Oh.
just we fucking the Hawkins sons. Let's go to fucking. Well, you're my head around. So I can turn the engine, you know. Dude, it's a classic. And she was just like, "You guys like this?" And we're like, "You don't?" Like he's like, "We're engaged," and I'm like, "You're gonna marry her?" It got to that level because then she also kind of started. Well, then she started being like, "And you want me to watch this boxing movie?" And we're like, "Whoa, like, hang on a minute here. You sit your ass down." Like
The idea, you know, like first of all, I mean, like all things considered, like there's a statue, Rocky statue,
a
that
fake
people
character.
travel to take photos with. Guilty just did it this past year, and you're gonna be like, oh, it's just a boxing movie. Like again, another thing too is like I could even maybe like pass a little bit if somebody was like, I've never seen Rocky. I know it sounds weird. I've never seen Rocky, right? Okay, but no, I know what it's. Yeah, I know what it's about. Blah blah blah. You know, like I can see that, right?
Yep.
Because it's like these are movies that are referenced in other movies. Like that's the other thing. Like people talk about other movies, so it's like
Whitney's
just
on
wild.
fucking Twitter. I just got home. Show's over, Whitney. About to be.
That's how I felt bad. What was the last time? Was it New Year's or whatever? Where I was trying to jump back in. I was driving back and I got.
Yeah, you came in. We were already gone.
It was like that's like the dream that you have where you're late for your final and you get to the classroom and all of a sudden no one's there and you're like, oh no, I missed my final. I failed.
Well, dude, and here's the deal. Every year we say like, hey, we love you, Whitney. We're so excited for this weekend. It's like we should plan that out more so everybody like, and then it's always like the week of, or like, oh yeah, hey, by the way, we're gonna send you a link. Come by if you want or can. Yeah. Like, because the idea it'd be great to see just a bunch of the people that have been on the show come through.
Yeah.
But it's usually just the people that we're at shows with every weekend because it's so last second. Create this.
Yeah.
The fans.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes.
Mm-hmm.
Like if somebody, again, that's another one. If somebody was like, I don't know who this Fonz guy is.
Oh my god.
What? You know, like
Or the Mary Tyler Moore in downtown Minneapolis.
Mm-hmm.
yes.
Mm-hmm.
Same thing.
I think people forget, like, yeah, some of these things are just icons, not of their time, though. Because, I mean, I didn't have cable growing up, but reruns. So I saw Mary Tyler Moore. I saw, Happy Days. I saw Hogan's Heroes. Like, some of that stuff is literally part of growing up. Some of that is just part of the psyche of your being. Like, you know what the references are. And I think we've lost it because we literally have just so many options for entertainment, TV, movies now, like streaming and all these other different shows and networks. And like, do we really have that consciousness of like, we all have like 20 shows for sure that we've all just watched? I don't think that's even possible anymore.
Well, the other thing too, though, is like growing up, you didn't, like you said, we didn't have the availability with the internet, the streaming platforms. It was TV. It was the TV, and you know what? You would sometimes have to watch whatever your parents were watching.
Mm-hmm.
Roseanne, baby.
So you're watching. Yeah, shit. Yeah.
Lawrence Welk, baby.
Oh.
And then also, there's times that like you're home from school, daytime TV's on. There's not.
Yep.
What are you gonna want? Oh, hey, Andy Griffith's on. I guess I'm watching that because there's nothing else on. I'm not watching Oprah. You know what I mean? So like, and then
Standards. No Oprah for me.
Oprah for me, bro. Not till the later years. She wasn't hopping till then. But it's like things weren't. But then it was kind of also like passed on because also TV was kind of a family thing at times, like until it got to the point where everyone had a TV. But like even then, it was still somewhat limited. Where now, like kids grow up in a home and they're not watching what their parents watch, and they're even if they're telling them about, they're not going to watch it probably because they got the phone. And they're going to just go somewhere else and watch fucking Blue's Clues or whatever. Or at that age where they should be taking that in, they're going to go watch whatever YouTuber's doing what at that moment.
Yeah, because I also remember going back to what you said, like. A lot of times it was sometimes you had a show that you stopped to watch, like you Tuesday night, blah, blah. Or I think for some of us might be able to relate to like the TGIF lineup.
Oh, yeah, baby.
I was just going to say that. Yep.
You know? Like,
Step by step.
Yes. Step by Step, Family Matters, Boy Meets World. Like,
oh, yeah, dude.
Full House. Yeah.
And that was always the thing too. Cause like, you know, I remember like I probably watched every episode of like Home Improvement, right?
Yeah.
And then when it was like, it was always a big deal when the show could potentially move to a different day. So when it was like on Tuesday and it's like next season, Wednesday, and it's like, oh, wait, is that going to be doable? You know, because like again,
I got church on Wednesdays. Dang it!
Yeah, you didn't have the option, you know, really of like you could record it like VCR, like that's where we were at that time, like for me in high school. So like, yeah, even catching up on that, like it became like I'm gonna watch. I don't want to miss an episode, you know.
Yeah, especially, you know, again, back in the day, without cable, without satellite and stuff. I mean, we got satellite through a deal through the Billy Graham, where it was a Sky Angel package. It was through with Dish Network, so you get like the Sky Angel package and then like 10 stations. And so I had TNT, so that's how I was like a WCW guy. Because like, there's wrestling. I love wrestling. WCW. Who's Sting? I gotta learn Ric Flair again. So
when I like basically that whole concept is why I got hooked on wrestling in the first place, right? Because we moved into a house and we didn't have like anything set up. I was 4, we moved into a different house. It was just my mom and I, and the TV when we hooked it up only had 4 channels because that was the default channels until you got the cable box all set up, which wasn't coming for another week. And it just so happened that one of the 4 channels was, you know, WWF Saturday Night, you know, so like, so that was the only thing I could really that I was watching that caught my eye until we got everything set up.
Oh yeah, I mean that's just how it was.
Whitney, we were talking about before streaming platforms and actually having to watch cable.
Terrible. Terrible. I get mad now at myself when I don't pay the extra $2.99 a month to bypass the fucking ads. I'm not doing it, but I'm not happy about it.
God, no,
honestly though, I started watching that new show, Age of Attraction on Netflix, about like where you date but you never know each other's ages, and I'm like, ooh, I'm gonna binge. Yeah, it's a little like there's a 60-year-old dating a 27-year-old.
What?
But he doesn't. He looks like he's maybe in his 40s. You can tell there's a significant age. But anyway, that's beyond the point. I'm thinking I'm gonna binge watch this thing, and there's only like 8 episodes in, and I'm like, I cannot believe there was a time I would wait 7 entire days to the hour to see what happens next for like Prison Break. You know, like.
The cliffhanger episodes or the 2-parters?
The season cliffhanger. You gotta wait.
And that's how this one is. Like this show, you watch the first 8 episodes to where they like basically couple up, and then from there on this, they're in this like they're out like in the woods to like couple up with whoever their match is, and then they move you into a city apartment, and your family comes and meets these people.
What the fuck?
Yeah, like I know. I'm like, damn, we're like, man, they fell in love in a week. Okay. Like I am in it.
So, okay, hang on, because Darren's actually the perfect person to ask about this.
with
So
his
Whitney-
his vast
Whitney-
experiences.
Well, no, just because she's talking about some dating reality show, basically. So Whitney is dead set on doing a dating game at some point for Tom. She wants to find Tom a lady.
Okay.
So, like, how do we get Darrin involved? I feel like Darrin should be a judge into this.
Yeah, you could just say all the nastiest things you want. It's just like, listen,
Am I like hosting this, or am I like a panelist, like helping you find, or am I like?
I
I'm
think
on
you
your
should
side,
be the
right?
host, and you send me out on the streets to find some bitches.
The first thing that popped in my head is I was like, how can we bring back MTV's Singled Out?
Yes, McCarthy. Yes. I'm in it.
Ooh.
I'm
See,
in it.
That would be great. Because I always remember like when they would cut the people, you know, be like, do you, neat, tidy, they cut, and then everyone just has to walk. And
Yup.
everybody's like,
Fucking waving at him like, ooh, you missed out on this.
Aw.
We used to actually do that up at the Rock in Fargo way back in the day when I was up there working radio.
Oh,
It was a
Alice is
fucking
your
nightmare
breathbuster.
because we'd get people to do it, and then we had them go out on a date
Mhm.
to a restaurant, and sometimes it was pretty fucking terrible.
Still one of my guilty pleasure like dating shows is Next from from
Oh, yeah, I remember that.
MTV. That thing was a nightmare. Like that was just a literal like that it could go wrong all the time on so many different levels.
Yeah.
And I loved the awkwardness of when they were trying to like force conversation to get to know each other in the time frame, or how people would just react to getting rejected like right away.
Oh yeah.
And then they would go back on the bus, and then they would just talk shit, and then the other guy would go, and then they would talk shit on him. And I like, there's a couple episodes that are on, I think it's Paramount. The Paramount Plus has a couple episodes. I was like, could this even fly today? Like, would it even work today?
Yes, because it's in-person Tinder. I mean, literally, it's just like
Oh
you're
my
swiping.
God, yes.
I mean, that's how it was because you'd see a photo and you're just like, nope, next. Like, and that they were just literally they're just getting off a bus, and so many of them were the first one off. If it was like especially like redheaded dudes, they literally never lasted. Literally, the guy would be like, "Oh
no, next. we were gone."
Yeah, for
peace,
sure.
motherfucker."
And the worst part
Found
about it
Lucky Charms.
it wasn't even like, oh, next. It was like, what? Like they would come off the bus and they'd be like, oh God, no, next. It's like,
Yeah, exactly. It's like
fuck
you can just stay
you.
Right?
I'm gonna go back in the shade then. You wanted your first date to be on the beach? Okay, asshole. I'm going back on the bus.
Right.
I got
You know
some
what I
shades
got
in
it.
there. It's cool. Fuck you.
The one I like to watch.
daughter.
The one, and this isn't dating. This is probably what happens at. This is the show that goes. They should do this for the couples after, but like they can never make this show again. I don't think is Cheaters.
Oh yeah.
Oh yeah, no, not with all the technology now too.
Well, that and like when I watch those back now, it's so sometimes cringy on how these people are behaving, and like most of it's all set up and whatever, but like what they're the over the top, like it's there's so many white guys that think they're black that are on that show for back in the day that it's so crazy, just dropping N-bombs that they're blanking out, and it's like, dude, this guy's like 90 pounds. Like white meth head guy, like what are we doing here? But like they couldn't, like between the tech plus nowadays, like those guys would get shot. I mean, the dude got stabbed.
Oh yeah.
On the
I was
boat.
gonna say, wasn't that like a big reason why the show
Yeah,
stopped? Like it
Yeah.
escalated that far?
yeah, dude.
Man,
I mean, nothing.
That's
you
heat
ever-
though. That's heat, right? Like that's when your show's cooking when. Dude, our host got stabbed on a boat. This is gold.
Gold for sure. I'll say
I
this.
always love the weird moments where like, because on those shows they would have that thing where like, what are you thinking right now? Like what's going through your head right now? Like putting somebody awkwardly on the spot, and like, so then that episode comes along, it's like, what are you thinking right now? I'm thinking I want to kill somebody. Like, what the fuck?
Oh, dude,
So-
I love it.
So speaking of like era like type shows, Love Connection, right? Because that couldn't work really nowadays because no one really has video dating, like because that was the time where you'd have to send in a tape and then somebody gets your tape back and you're just like, yeah, I don't think I could date this person. because you'd have 3 options. They'd all give you like a little something, and the guy was like, "Oh, I chose this person," or the guy was like, "Oh, no, this dude," and then you go on a date and you're talking about your date, and it's like, and you get all these good vibes from each other, and then all of a sudden, just like, would you want to go on another one? Nah.
Yeah.
No, it's like, God, you broke my heart, man. I watched this
You
whole
remember
fucking
the
episode.
one where they went on the dates with the moms? I liked that
yeah.
one on MTV.
Yeah, I remember that.
That one was my favorite. They're like, I want you to date my daughter. And they come out of the limo and like most of the
my
time the
mom's
hot
dead.
moms had the
And,
ugly
like,
daughters.
And they get to
Parental
watch.
guidance or something like that.
Yeah. That was it.
Yes.
Yeah.
MTV
Yeah,
had
you
the
know what
worst
else?
dating
I
shows
watched
of
the
all time.
I watched the WWE Silent Library episode a couple weeks ago on YouTube. I forgot about that show. That shit was crazy.
Yeah, the Trent was on it.
That shit was crazy.
Oh yeah.
They
I mean-
did, yeah, they did so like just all of. I was actually quite shocked at how many episodes they were able to do with how many different like things they were able to do. I personally enjoyed the ones where you could tell that they were going to break like right away because like you knew they couldn't do it. Couldn't get it.
100%.
Dude, that and then I'll still just watch Wipeout. Like it's on like Hulu or yeah, that too, Mike.
Damn you, Malice.
I want them to bring I want Wipeout to come back because we know Darren likes to go running. I think Darren would like to do some running with some obstacles, and I would love to see you on Wipeout. That'd be hilarious.
Didn't they do maybe it
They
actually
brought it
might have
back.
been-
with
They brought
Cena.
it back, and then I thought they were supposed to come to Minneapolis.
Maybe someone died.
Feel like
Someone
it might have been
died.
around 2020.
I might
Well, also someone died on one of this episodes with
Potentially
Cena.
I own any of these.
I did not know that.
Yeah.
I want to know on which obstacle.
That's what I want to know, dude. Because like,
definitely the big balls.
Yeah, like that. You see so many people with the videos where also, like they're inverted, their necks look.
I hate
like
saying it, but every time I watch it too, I'm like, dude, the big balls aren't that hard, everybody. Which I know if I was on that show, I would have died the ramp down.
I think it's always interesting because like that one when people wipe out too, like it's always like the scorpion in between where you get stuck.
Yeah.
I would just be like, I would just hit deflect off one and bounce to the side, right? That's how I think I would wipe out. But yeah, the like I'm running and I trip and go end over end, and then you hit. But like I always felt with Wipeout, the like the first round, with all the like pie in the face or like but the like one at the end is like the like they launch you and then you because there's so much water or something like that. And I don't know. It feels like two totally different. Like the first one's
really
always funny, and then the second one's not. Like,
Dan's right. There was something that Cena was hosting with.
Yeah. That's the one where someone like died on it, I guess.
Yeah.
That's
but it wasn't. But that one wasn't Wipeout, was it?
It was.
It was a Wipeout. They were bringing back Wipeout.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
I tell you this, Darren would be the first person to wipe out and tuck his chin every time.
I thought that one would be fun. I thought that would be
100%
to do. Now knowing that somebody died on there, like what a way to go! Like how I end up being somebody's weird trivia question. Like who's the one who got Wipeout?
What took you out the punch ball? Got me right in the temple there.
Right?
Just like sideways in the face, like.
Fell right into the mud, didn't move. They didn't know for a second.
I get hit this way and I go too far back and I miss the water completely.
You're the one who lands on ground. You're like, oh, my back. Oh shit, my fucking heart.
And you're laying there, and it's like, don't get discouraged. Don't get discouraged.
Like also too, like watching that show, right? Like I'm guessing they have medical staff and all that, and they've probably seen like so many wipeouts.
Oh. Had to have.
And like at one point like that happened and they were like that was really good. This is gonna be good TV.
Yeah. Oh, 100%. For sure.
Shit, this is the show we get canceled. Fuck.
Oh, never mind.
Oh no. But yeah, I that one was always I thought that one was always really good. I always like Most Extreme Elimination Challenge. That one was because that one's just funny. And like all the little things they did with that one, like the running through the like you'd have to the rocks and then running with the bust away doors.
Yeah,
sometimes it would be something in the way. Like
that reminds me of the what was the one like the Japanese or Chinese on the something castle. They brought that one back recently. It's
so that's what they use for most extreme elimination.
Oh yeah, it's those guys. Yeah. Oh, dude, they brought it back. It was great.
Makes 1 serving and 8 ounces of fluid water.
$1 million baby somebody. Yeah.
Oh man!
Great.
All right, well, Darrin,
Right,
happy
yeah,
St. Patrick's Day.
Yeah. No,
Thank you for
this
hanging
worked out
out.
really well for the day here. This is great.
Why don't you go and let everybody know where they can find you, what you got coming up next?
Sure. So the easy one is always it's at Darrin Corbin. So that's where you can find me generally on like all the main, social platforms. So like Instagram and stuff like that. I've been pushing a little bit more on YouTube with, I've been doing fun short videos because I think that's more my content. So that's been kind of fun. I've even done some like at Madhouse where I, the vertical suplex off the cage where I'm like, I almost died. So like stuff like that is more fun up my realm.
Okay.
And then of course, like I got my Patreon. So like when I do shows and events and stuff like that, like the food places I visit, the show, like my thoughts and like looking back at it and some of those things. I always post something new every day on there. And so that's always fun for me. So that one's just at Darrin Corbin for the Patreon. So if they do patreon.com/Darrin Corbin, that's where I'm at. But those are the main ones that you can find me at. So
yeah, get on that. Looks like we got a couple shows coming up. I pulled some of your pictures off. This
Yes.
is on March 27th.
first time ever matchup.
There we go. We got another one coming up. Where's this Destination
That's
Pro?
my anniversary, the Nightfall.
There it is. Guys,
22
get there.
years. 22 years.
Does it feel like 22 years?
Actually, no.
There you go.
I was just having this conversation this past weekend because I was pleasantly surprised that a lot of people were like very inaccurate to how long they thought I had been wrestling.
Nice.
And there's people that have known me longer. So like, it was really funny because I was talking with one of the guys and he's like, well, we're probably right around the same time. I've been wrestling for about 10 years. And the guy that was right next to him, who's known me for like 17 years, was like, he's like, no. He's like, he's got you beat by a little bit. And so like, that's always, I always do find it flattering when like people are always like, you gotta be around my age. You gotta be around here. It's like, no, sorry. Technically you're a kid to me. So that's how that works.
Love it. Hell
And
yeah.
just remember, everybody, he's not or is, depending on who you ask, Baron Corbin's brother. I love that tweet this last week or whatever.
So good.
It's because I'm Baron Corbin's brother, dumbass. I was like,
And I got to give him credit because he retweeted it, and that's what got all the eyes on it. So
fuck yeah, dude.
Hell yeah, dude. Hell yeah. We'll see you May 30th as well here in Rochester.
Yeah.
Any of our Minnesota folk, those tickets are for sale. Get them. Whitney's coming up. So we're going to have the whole gang in the house. Madhouse Wrestling May 30th here in Rochester at the Chateau. We can't wait for that. So
I cannot wait.
I was gonna say I'm not just saying it because I'm on, but those shows have been some of my favorite ones to do. Just the crowd, the venue, just also it's a fun top to bottom. I feel like there is something different every match. That's one of the cool things about these shows. And like every match I've had has been completely different. That's another thing that I really enjoy.
Yeah, I'm pretty proud that I was able to talk those guys into coming here a couple years ago. It's been really nice ever since. So, yeah, man, we can't wait to have you up here. Check them out on that Patreon. Everybody, get on there. Some really cool content up there. So, check that out. Yeah, man, we're gonna see you soon. Always got stuff going too with like First Wrestling. I want to give them their big shout out. You guys got a lot of big things coming this year. So, yeah, man.
Cool. Well, thank you again so much for having me, and happy St. Patrick's Day, everybody.
Happy
Happy
St. Patrick's Day.
Patrick's
Thank you, Darrin.
Day. And then, yeah, guys, this weekend we're gonna go
Saturday.
see Whitney, Bull Pit, Illinois, wherever that is.
It's
We're
so funny
coming.
to hear that said like on a stream.
Yeah, because your town's never been talked about ever. Yeah.
We said it for you guy here earlier night. We're like, we have no idea what we are venturing into this weekend.
Do you have any idea if they've sold any tickets at all?
It's like no one's coming.
I have no clue.
Because I haven't heard anything back from Caleb in at least a month.
He's so
I
stressed
have,
there.
I will be on with y'all after this. I have so much to tell you. I have so much shit going on.
Oh no!
I don't know my left from right now. I'm not gonna lie.
Oh boy.
I just want to leave you with this statement as you threw up that poster. As I said earlier, comedy's great in the same vein because it's the places you go.
Yeah. Hell yeah, brother. Love you, Darrin.
Thanks,
Thank you,
Darrin.
buddy.
Take care.
All right, Jared. You can. We'll see you guys next week, y'all. We're gonna talk
Bye
about.
bye.